Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel, YOLENO TV. I hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching us. And it's your favorite segment, The Big Point. Now, our point for this analysis is still on the Chebukati Venezuela hacking saga. I don't want to go into the details that we talked about in our previous analysis because you know, and I know, that there are 3 people who are arrested. And in the 3 people, 2 were from Smartmatic International Holding BV, but one person was not a part to that, was not a member of that team, but this person carried stickers. So we don't delve into that. That is what we discussed yesterday. So let's go straight into DCI's response to Chebukati. But before we go to the DCI's response to Chebukati, we have strong reasons to believe that Chebukati is playing Kenyans. But we have a series of questions to ask, but then we will also answer these questions on our own. And by answering the questions, we will be able to unearth Chebukati's inner dealings in this whole electoral preparedness process. So to get us started with, why did Wafula Chebukati reject the committee that was to be chaired by CJ Kome? I don't know whether you've forgotten about that. Many people don't remember that there was a committee that was formulated, and this committee was supposed to look into the electoral preparedness process. And if that committee was to be in place, then the flaws that we witness now, like the sudden issuance of a tender to Smartmatic International, wouldn't have happened, because that committee would have vetted the nominees or the applicants thoroughly, and maybe some of the history would have been revealed or during that committee process. But Wafula Chebukati declined, because Wafula Chebukati decided that the committee, or rather IEBC, is an independent body and should not be under such scrutiny. That is a question that Wafula Chebukati still will have to answer. Remember, IEBC, through a detailed letter dated Monday, November 29, 2021, made it clear that it would no longer participate in activities involving the National Multisectoral Consultative Forum on Election Preparedness and its Technical Working Committee. The Chebukati-led commission cited pressure from the members in the powerful committee, risking their independence to oversee next year's polls. Ladies and gentlemen, Wafula Chebukati cited the independence of IEBC as the reason why he could not be party to that committee. You know, let me give you a brief composition of that committee. Some members were Ezra Chiloba. We know about the NIS retired General Philip Kamaru. CJ Martha Koome was also a party to that committee. So Chebukati was seen to be hell-bent on paralyzing the whole electoral preparedness process, because why did he decline? Okay, fine. Now there are issues emerging, but why did Wafula Chebukati decline in last year's request by CJ Koome to have him included in that committee? Why did Wafula Chebukati decline? So I tend to believe, that maybe Wafula Chebukati was afraid that CJ Koome and the team would uncover the flaws in IEBC's plans, and these flaws are beginning to be seen now. If in a previous interview where the presidential committee, Wafula Chebukati was put to task, and he was with Marjan, they were put to task in a series of questions. I remember there's a time Wafula Chebukati was asked a series of questions. Okay, there were questions related to Mike Sonko. We don't want to delve into that, but there were questions which were related to Smartmatic International BV. Previously, there were some allegations that Smartmatic bungled Venezuela's electoral results. The electoral results were tampered, and Antonio, in a previous interview, made it clear that indeed the elections were not fair. The results could not be. Antonio said, that's the CEO and chairman of Smartmatic International. So the same with the Philippines. It also happened that Smartmatic played a critical role in making sure that the election was not free and fair. You know what happened in Uganda? Because Uganda also awarded Mathematics International. So let's look at, there's a previous video that surfaced online about William Samoei Ruto touring Uganda, when he met Museveni. We don't know, but there were allegations that a lot could have been said. And mind you, Museveni does not support Raila Amollo Odinga's presidency. So I don't know whether there is some connection between Smartmatic International and the current tender and IBC and Kenya Kwanza's team, because it's so funny that Kenya Kwanza are not complaining about this saga.
Si mnaona hawa jamaa wameanza kuhangaika? Juzi kitendawili alituambia anataka manual register. Siku ile ingine alikuwa anasema hataki manual register. Ni kuchanganyikiwa, si kuchanganyikiwa. Ndio huyo amesema hana imani na IBC.
None of them is complaining. In fact, they are attacking DCI, attacking IG Mutyambai, they are attacking Azimio, they are even attacking the deep state. But you see, all these parties have a right to protect the electoral process. So if the 3 Venezuelans jetted into the country with IEBC materials but packed in personal bags, that leaves a lot of Kenyans with a lot of questions to ask with no answers. So what we are trying to say is that the question that we like to pose to IEBC: how did they vet Smartmatic International? How did they vet Smartmatic International for the tender? Or could it be that Chebukati simply single-handedly outsourced, or rather single-sourced Smartmatic International? Because Marjan, in the previous interview, when he was asked about whether he knew about the flaws in Smartmatic, he said he doesn't know. When he was asked about whether he knew that Antonio, the CEO for Smartmatic, admitted that the results were not free and fair, he said, I don't know. So perhaps that's the reason why we think IBC's goose is cooked. IBC's chairman, Wafula Chebukati's wife, came publicly and asked Kenyans to pray for Chebukati. It could be that there is something that the wife knows, and she knows that this going forward will affect her husband, and going forward, maybe the peace that they've been enjoying will not be realized, and perhaps that's why she asked Kenyans to pray for her husband. Now, dear viewers, perhaps if you bumped into our channel for the first time, please take a moment and subscribe. And if you are a regular viewer and you've never subscribed, please just take a moment also and subscribe. So, DCI Kinoti issued his latest statement and said that there is something fishy in the whole process. This saga leaves the whole country with something to worry about. Perhaps that's why they unearthed the scandal before it could even play. Dear ladies and gentlemen, tell us below there in the comment section whether you think the election will be free and fair. And why do you think Kenya Kwanza is in their comfort zone? Why are they not worried about these allegations? Why are they not worried about, the 3 gentlemen jetting into the country incognito? Why are they not worried about that event or that scenario? So tell us below the comment section. And I'd like to say, allow me to wind up, to conclude there. And until we meet again, I'd like to promise you that more information will still come your way. We promise to reveal to you more details as they come by. Now, until we meet again, I'd like to say thank you so much. And if you're first time viewer again, you can just subscribe. You can give us a thumbs up. And mind you, I would like to remind you that we are on a journey to 3,000 subs. And in my previous community post, I said the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. And that one step is you. So until we meet again, I'd like to say, stay blessed.